Finally, the long wait is over and Disney Plus debuted their latest addition to the MCU, She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. Fans of the comics may remember her pretty well, but this live adaptation strayed a bit from the source material. Why did they choose to do so? Wonder no more, because for today's video we'll be talking about why Marvel tweaked She-Hulk's origin story for the new Disney Plus show, so keep on watching to know more. In a new Disney Plus teaser, the origin story of She-Hulk is modified. The origin myths of superheroes are probably all you're familiar with. Batman's parents, Superman's planet, Spider-Man's spider bite, etc. A hero's genesis tale is the pivotal moment of his or her existence, a single event that catalyzes the themes of every story the character encounters, unless it's She-Hulk. Gaining the superpowers is a significant alteration, and it helps to at least have a little understanding of the character's previous identity. Jen is introduced in the middle of her transformation in She-Hulk Attorney at Law, confusing that by having her powers when we first met her but not having them used. The 9-episode comedy series, which premiered on Wednesday, August 17th, follows Jennifer Walters, a lawyer who specializes in superhuman-oriented legal cases, as she negotiates the complicated life of a single 30-something who also happens to be a green 6'7" superpowered Hulk, as portrayed by Orphan Black's Tatiana Maslany. In the comic book, Bruce Banner, Jennifer's cousin, gave her a correct blood transfusion that gave her the ability to fly. However, a new trailer released by etonline.com teases a car accident involving Jennifer and a post-Endgame Bruce during which his extremely rare blood mixes with hers. But what actually happened in the comics? Jen receives a life-saving blood transfusion from Bruce, and as a result, she develops superpowers as seen in the comics. It's not as enticing as a radioactive spider or jewels that are strewn across Gotham's tarmac after a downpour, but at least it's a character choice with interesting results. Another MCU superhero created in a collision is Doctor Strange, whose origin story serves as an illustration of the origin that conveys something about the character. In his debut movie, Benedict Cumberbatch played an arrogant physician who was speeding while examining x-rays. When the character crashed, it was an act of hubris that tore apart his well-crafted ego and sent him on a path to spiritual awareness, different from if he had been, say, randomly rear-ended in a moving vehicle, right? We have no problem whatsoever about the MCU changing She-Hulk's origin, but if there's one concern we're having, it's that the series may be overshadowed by another recent Disney Plus show. The fact that She-Hulk premieres so soon after the utterly wonderful Miss Marvel is, in our opinion, its worst flaw. To highlight the themes of the character and the storyline, the show's designers painstakingly adjusted the protagonist character Kamala Khan's abilities and background. Of course, receiving a bracelet in the mail doesn't quite compare to the entire planet going boom. However, and this is very important, Kamala's powers in the TV show are not given to her. Rather, they are awakened inside her, while also relying on a traditional history passed down by the woman in her family. It catalyzes all of the series' events and is supremely well thought out and deliberate. Other than that, it appears that She-TV Hulk's origin may have been lost in translation somewhere between writing and screen, which has the potential to slightly complicate matters. Showrunner Jessica Gao discussed the trade-offs she and the writing staff had to make as a result of being part of the Marvel apparatus. In an interview with Variety covering everything from budgeting to visual effects, you might question how the Genesis narrative had to be rearranged to fit into the first episode, after she said that it was originally going to be told in episode 8. The automobile crash is still painfully random though, even if it had happened later. However, perhaps the pointlessness itself is the aim. This is a program that allows its feminist themes to swell up, turn green, and rip the expertly designed sleeve straight off rather than wearing its feminist subtext on its sleeve. Jen responds to Brooke's Hulk-splaining by asserting that wrath and fear are the foundation of a woman's typical emotions, and in a remark that sums up the show's withering view of what it means to be a woman, this viciously articulated point of view swerves as a clever foundation for the entire series, carrying the show through its dull parts. When viewed from that angle, the randomness of the origin takes on a more sad quality. You may think of it as being about a chance mishap that had unintended and long-lasting effects on Jen, a narrative about a lady who contracted a male blood infection without any subtext. It wouldn't be the first time a guy has ruined a woman's life through an accident, illness, or unintended pregnancy, and as the series progresses, She-Hulk tells the tale of a woman whose body no longer belongs to her, which in light of recent changes to abortion legislation is a potent and topical theme in the US. Whatever your opinion on that hypothesis, it does highlight the power of a good superhero origin story. You can read whatever you want into them. Even if neither of us have experience being bitten by an irradiated spider nor expelled from a dying extraterrestrial planet, these legendary origins are still instantly recognizable. Everybody fears losing their parents, becoming lost far from home, and winning the whole world but losing their souls. She-Hulk is a program with a message, thus we wish the superhero components had attempted to achieve the resonance that Miss Marvel and others work in the genre have demonstrated the genre is capable of. Of course, we may be overanalyzing the situation. She-Hulk's creators might just be ready to confess something that the superhero genre typically won't. Origin stories are tedious. We're familiar with those enduring origin tales because we've seen them so frequently. Spider bites, parents, super strength, we get it. Just start striking some wicked men wearing costumes. The nicest thing about She-Hulk, however, is that it offers a unique perspective on what it's like to be a superhero. So when we enter episode 2, let go of the beginning and pay attention to how things develop. Now, moving on to the next topic, let's talk about She-Hulk Attorney at Law's pilot episode. We're pretty sure we're not the only ones who noticed the multiple Easter eggs incorporated in the show, but were you? If you missed it, don't worry because we'll be laying it down for you. We already know how Jen got her Hulk powers, but what we don't know is where did the spaceship come from? When you're a Hulk, weird stuff finds you, including getting cut off in traffic by a car that was clearly not built for the highway. The spaceship that caused the Hulk collision was a Sicarian Class A courier craft, meaning it originated from planet Sakaar, where Banner and Thor served as gladiators for Jeff Goldblum's Grandmaster in the film Thor Ragnarok. But what message could it be carrying, and who could be attempting to reach the Hulk who was once the champion? There's also the fact that She-Hulk is pretty well on her way to Hulk smashing the patriarchy. Jen awakens in an Iron Man's busted helmet-adorned cabana/bunker with a mariachi motif. It turns out that Jen cured Bruce's gauntlet-withered arm in an exchange for him forcing Jen to be the Hulk. It doesn't seem fair at all, but in relationships when the woman gives more than the guy, it's not uncommon. By the way, we're not trying for subtext there. The themes of the show also come to focus during the training montage in which we discover more about Jen's skills. The show has a lot to say about being a woman, especially one who's in the spotlight. It's commonly believed that the superhero power fantasy, which centers on growing bigger and stronger and taking control of the world, appeals to children. The Hulk's tale intriguingly and complexly furthers this ideal by openly tying physical strength and aggression to emotions like fear, fury, and agony. She-Hulk contrasts the male experience with the female experience by positioning Bruce next to Jen and making this inarticulate, seething strength explicitly a male thing. The Hulk is sparked by rage and fear, Bruce explains to Jen, to which she responds that this is a woman's natural emotional foundation. This remark strikes a chord with many women who endured cruel treatment for daring to live their lives in the public glare, because the series centers on a woman forcibly propelled into a celebrity. Women like Pamela Anderson, Monica Lewinsky, and Britney Spears were condemned for their actions, frequently using horrific double standards, yet have recently been acquitted. Plus, the series is hinting that Hulk and She-Hulk may be facing off in the future. Do you recall the first time Mark Ruffalo portrayed the Hulk in the Avengers? When he confessed his tragic secret, that he was constantly angry, it was one of the turning points in this ideal casting. In essence, Jen and Bruce's debate serves as a setup for the inevitable fight scene. We certainly hope that the tension in Ruffalo's Banner is expanded upon in later episodes. Bruce Banner has been too polite for a long time for a man who is an uncontrollable anger monster. Unfortunately, we're out of time, so that'll be all for today's video. What excites you most about this new series? Let us know in the comment section below. Before you go, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to our channel with the notification bell on for more videos like these. We'll see you next time, and thanks for watching.